So that's enough of a history lesson. I just want you guys to understand and respect who Gravy was and whatnot, so you have context. I don't want you thinking this is just some random guy. But so he's speaking on his experience with dating, right? And this is something that even when you watch him speak, you're going to notice that he's not really looking directly at them, and it's a very confrontational conversation. And it's probably because he may not be in tune with the space. And Angry Man has made a really good point about they never had men on these shows who can have an intellectual conversation about relationships. So what's going on here is he's explaining his experience, and this is the main issue that black women have, and this is what they don't realize about and why they're not able to have relationships with black men, whether they realize it or not. You have a hard time. People have a hard time seeing strong men as human beings to begin with, but it's an extra layer added onto it. You know what I'm saying? When you're a black man, the whole world has a hard time seeing you as human. Like I always say, I had to train myself to realize, yo, why you look at that black man like a threat? Why are you tensing up? He hasn't done anything to you, and he's not even act like he don't do anything to you. You know what I'm saying? Why you? You know what I'm saying? Or why are you posturing like you're ready for a confrontation? And we're both doing that with each other. Despite the fact that, nigga, if that was the case, if black men were that violent, you would have at least 3 fights a year. You would have at least 3 fist fights a year. You will at least get into a tussling match or at least almost fight a nigga 3 to 5 times a year. If we were all that violent, you know what I'm saying? We all really couldn't get along. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not the truth. That's not the truth of the matter. That's just not who we are, right? But anyway. But women have a hard time realizing. Well, for one, it has to do with maturity, right? And I think a lot about what does maturity mean and how is that expressed. And another aspect of a maturity is gratitude and the ability to relate to the other person. Relate to the person across from you, right? I mean, I guess that's obvious, right? But it's almost like when you're a young person. The way you see things, you have tunnel vision, and you're not able to see the whole landscape. You're not able to see all the way to the right, to the left, or you're not able to see out the peripheral. You know what I mean? Maturity is when you can see, like, for example, I'm looking out the window. Imagine if I could only see like this, right? But I can't see the side. If I can't see, it's a wall here. It's a wall. You know what I mean? So it's like driving and not looking from left to right. So obviously, if I always drive like that and I never look from left to right, I'll never know when I'm basically. Well, I could be getting into an accident, or it could be someone, a child could run out into the street. Anything could happen. Basically, you're not really paying attention, and you don't have a proper idea of what's really going on around you, and proper basically good self-awareness. That's basically what it kind of adds up to, right? So when we have these conversations, what goes on in the woman's mind is she's thinking about how she feels, right? And more than ever, even though successful black men and black men who are productive and who have self-esteem and value themselves, and they realize that you are the prize, what's starting to happen is those men are accepting that, like, you are free to be who you want to be. Now, any brother watch this right now. Any man watching this right now, it's not your job to change no woman. If that's how she feel, that's how she feel. That's what the type of time she wants, type of time you want. Because these conversations of convincing and explaining, it needs to end because it's not a respectful conversation at all. So anyway, I just want to give you guys a backdrop. I'm going to try to let this play for about a minute or so before I react, trying to do better with that kind of stuff. And let's get into it. Fair
outside my race.
Fair use.
But I was dating outside of my race because they would get mad at me for dating outside my race. But I was dating outside of my race because they were doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Define better.
Well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know you said they were doing things better. I want to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the
culture. Not better for the culture.
There we go.
Right. Not better. I was dating Puerto Rican, I was dating Dominican, I was dating African, I was dating all type of other really size American black, right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable
Give
with.
me some examples.
Oh man, I mean, their mannerisms are different.
Fair use.
Like even my Indian one was from
Sri Lanka.
One of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American Black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Rue Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household, even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags and sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking. If you're going to go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're going to get that.
So the first I'm going to comment on is, again, these men are not equipped to have this conversation because they're not mentally conditioned. You don't have enough experience having these kind of conversations. Also, I'm not saying that Gray he's not smart or the other gentleman is not smart, but you need men who can actually have this conversation and go deep. Pause. Right. So first things first. The first thing I would have picked up on is I would have said, let me fix my hat real quick, y'all, because I cannot get this hat right, y'all. Whatever. It's fine. The emperor has no clothes. It doesn't matter. So, the first thing that I would have caught was, first of all, they got completely away from his point. Angry Man does a brilliant breakdown. I'm not gonna lie. Even watching Angry Man react to this was painful. Because people who are content creators like myself, people who have the experience and who have the words, right? And who are ready, because it's hard to have a confrontational conversation when you are not equipped and you don't have the experience to, one, know how to stay calm and remain. Because the way people crash out in these conversations is coming into it with bad faith. They completely, Angry Man pointed out how they completely changed the conversation. The conversation is, what's going on here? Oh, okay. The conversation is about, basically, he couldn't have good relationships with Black women. What he's basically saying is these women were nice to talk to and nice to be around. Of course, they don't want a broke dude either. They don't want a stupid guy either, right? But what he's really speaking to is the fact that things are changing. The fact that man, he not I don't know how much the man make. I mean, I hope he's doing good. He look like he's doing good. You know what I mean? But the fact that you saying, because this guy is not necessarily no super handsome cat. He's not super in shape, but he's able to sit there and tell you about all these different experiences that he had with different kinds of women, and you're totally missing out. It's totally going over the Black woman's head. What he's saying is, other types of women are interested in Black men. So imagine the men who look, first of all, Black men in general, even Black men who are not conventionally handsome can still be attractive because we have the features of a man that makes him attractive. You know what I mean? We have the ruggedness. You know what I mean? A lot of us, even some of us who look more rough, if that guy's in shape and he's groomed very well and dressed to the nines, Black men, we have a thing where, we're able to put ourselves together in a way that even when we're not that handsome, not that attractive, but we ain't got the best body and whatnot, we'll still be very attractive. It's just something about us. You feel me? It's how we put ourselves together. And you got to realize that Black men are more in control of their narrative now. Black women are no longer in control of the narrative, all right, able to tell stories and to tell one-sided stories, all right. The CDC, hope I'm saying that right, did a study. They were not looking to find out were black men good fathers. They did a study on the involvement of fathers across all groups and whatnot. And the conclusion they came to was the African American men or the black men of this time, of this era, are the most involved fathers. And still you see women coming online talking about black men don't raise their kids, especially if you're looking at a Divesting or a Swirling. I mean, but anyway, also this kind of guy, even when he said, they were doing even the grammar, how he expressed it, because he didn't have the words. He said, I was dating women who wasn't my race because they was doing things better than the women in my race. And just listen, on some hood nigga stuff, I get it. I'm not judging. But in that arena, you got to come better than that. You know what I'm saying? And also, he's not equipped to have that conversation and really make it something. It's always someone who will buckle under pressure. And a lot of men do that. I find myself doing it. After a while, I had to realize, why you care what she think? Why you care what he think? He don't care what you think. Because I will find myself considering my feelings and the other person's feelings, or maybe it might be a situation where I'm wondering, why you acting like that? Then I had to realize, these people is grown. If somebody want to be a see you next Tuesday, it can be a see you next Tuesday. Nigga want to be weird, he can be weird. You know what I mean? I'm like, you not focused. When you start getting in your feelings, it usually means that you were not focused enough on what it is you need to be doing. When I'm writing these raps and whatnot, I'm in the moment. Okay? And I realize that's what I need to be doing for the rest of my life. Is being a person that writes raps, records raps, and performs raps here on the internet for you. Because no one loves you more than the six packs. You understand me? Seriously, for real. No one loves you more than me. And you know why that is? I'm going to tell you why that is. Because I'm willing to go through the whole spectrum with you. I'm willing to have the confrontation with you. I'm willing to let you get angry with me. And why you get angry, I may get angry too. But I will have the conversation with you. What he did in that conversation, let's bring it back. Actually, no, not even. There's a point in the conversation where he says, not better, sir. If it was better, it was better. Because the thing about this kind of conversation is when black women talk about black women dating now, it is a saucy, sexy, happy conversation with all smiles. And it's always, yeah, girl, do what you got to do, girl. Basically it's seen as leveling up because, and again, this is the way I've heard it put, and it sounds effed up. It is what it is. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. But non-black men are actually men in the eyes of black women. So therefore, when a woman gets with a non-black man, it's all the black women are never mad at a black woman for dating a white guy. You've never seen that. You never see black women be upset or call them names. Nothing like black men. If you're watching right now, have you ever seen a black woman really talk crazy about a black woman dating a white guy? No, it's always either she's neutral, maybe she don't have no thoughts on it, but she definitely won't be itching on her and their relationship unless maybe she knows them personally and she's had a negative interaction with the guy maybe, and it's a personal thing. But other than that, you never hear black women talk down on interracial relationships. I remember years ago, and again, I put it like this: most black men up until now had no awareness of how much black women and other non-black women, other women of color desire white men. You know what I'm saying? Now we actually have data on it now. So on dating apps, check it out, look it up. White men are the most white men and Asian women are the most swiped on. White men because of status, and Asian women probably because of basically submissiveness. Even though all women can be evil and be bitchy and all types of stuff, but the difference with non-black women is that that's just not what they only known for. All women can be nasty, all of them. And they all do most of the same thing. But it's more so about if, let's say, they love as a product. You know what I'm saying? Black women have gotten to a point where let's say your love is a product, and you're basically saying you're giving someone a Walmart level product, and you're demanding top dollar. You're saying, all right, so this is my, let's say it's those electronics from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And you like, damn, like this TV, like shit, like everything in here is like, so I don't know. Let's say at Target that TV is $250. When you go to Black Walmart, it's $450. And you know what I mean? And you ask like, why is this TV so expensive? And then you ask the sales associate, hey, why is this? I saw this TV actually it's actually a better brand. This is not even what is this brand? What is this shit? You know what I mean? And the sales associate says, if you broke, just say that. And the salesperson just starts berating you. You know what I'm saying? But that's most black men's experience when it comes to our women. And at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. I'm saying me, like I accept what it is. I accept women. I accept where we at. You know what I mean? Because it's not all about that, bro. You know, like a lot of men got to realize there's more to life. And on top of that, where the economy is at now, more than ever, men are going to have to focus on making money. You cannot afford to be wasting money on dates, wasting money and time and energy on women who, frankly, for the most part, you don't know what you're going to do. Women got to also understand that too, where men's minds are at, and getting yourself out of the, I ain't gonna lie, men to a certain degree have also conditioned women to think that, I'm not gonna say you have more options than you actually do, but there's so many different platforms and different things that men support, and it just, like, for example, like let's say OnlyFans, right? For the most part, what makes these OnlyFans, even if it's homosexual content, it's the men who pay for OnlyFans. Let's say if it's content or any kind of adult content, men pay for that kind of stuff. Strippers, dancers, all types of stuff. Men pay for all those types of things. You know what I'm saying? And if they stop engaging, or even dates, if the men don't want to pay for dates, then y'all won't have dates. And which is a good thing, honestly, that men have stopped dating. Because again, we're going to start getting back to people getting together for the right reasons and actually making the women commit to the relationship, and men need to demand a commitment and don't just let her just bully you. It's not a thing too. If you're gonna see in this video where these women are bullying him, okay, I'm gonna let's play for a little longer. It's very hard to tolerate this. I'm gonna look at clothes while this plays, so I won't stop it. I'm trying to be a better content creator. Let's go.
If you're gonna meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're gonna find that out a lot earlier on. That what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about, even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she requires, you know, and I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media again is the barometer, okay, and it's the comparison, and when you're comparing yourself to all these other women,
so he conflated two different things. The first thing he was talking about was when you look at these dating apps and what you see the women asking for, and because a dating app, right? So back in the day, they used to have dating services where you would come in, you'll record yourself, and you would sell yourself to the person who may look at your video, right? And I think it was kind of like a matchmaking service. You come in, record a video, and I guess when you can come in and you can look at other people's videos and they can do a little matchmaking, right? It was a dating service and everything. And when you get on that video, you introduce yourself, you talk for a little bit, you talk about your likes and everything, and basically you want the person who was watching to want to meet you, right? And so it might go like, hey, how's it going? My name is Six Paps Dice. I'm a man of a certain age, you know. Drive a nice car, got a good job with benefits, a little bit of pension action, nothing too crazy. All right. I enjoy a good steak, you know. I happen to be a whole vibe, a whole lot of man. Call me now, right? That's how a dating tape would go. If the way these women come onto these apps and the way they write these profiles, it would be like someone's dating profile going, "Fuck Jay-Z." You know what I'm saying? And you hear a gunshot. Fuck Jay-Z. And the first thing you hear is, "Hey nigga, Listen. Real talk, you see women write shit like they write a height requirement on there. How do you arrive at the height that the specific height someone needs to be to date you? Right? You'll see, and a lot of times most of them are single mothers because apps are mostly for people who already have kids. I mean, and mostly for the women. Most women you find on apps are going to be women who want to be sugar babies and women who are single mothers. All right. And usually if they're a single mother, a lot of times, I think some of them are smart enough, but a lot of times they don't talk about their kids in a humble way as if it's not going to be a big responsibility for you, as if it's not going to be where it could be a potential huge burden. When you deal with someone else's kids, you're dealing with their personalities and their problems. And when you're the man, it's different because you're responsible for the environment, and I'm saying, and regulating everyone else's emotions and bringing order to the environment. You know what I mean? And instilling structure in the household to make sure that things stay peaceful and run how they're supposed to run. And the way that you go about doing that is not easy. It's not always gonna be. You're not always met with cooperation. You understand? And but anyway, so he goes from talking about basically this basically how women come onto the dating scene, and even what they write on these profiles is very discouraging and it's not attractive. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, especially if you're a little bit older and you're not flooded with testosterone in a way where you're more willing to throw your hat in the ring and throw your hat down the ring and say, yeah, I'll deal with you and your 10 kids. Come on. No, you're not willing to do that. A lot of men are just not willing to do that, bro, anymore. And especially if they got anything going for themselves, because the other day, man, yesterday I'm at work. Co-worker asked me to open this canister, and she said her and two other women were not able to. Basically, it's like a thermos, like one of these right here, and it wasn't stuck. And she was saying they were not able to open this. Women don't have it's about grip strength. Women don't have grip strength like that. Unless they lift weights and everything, they don't have grip strength. So when I tell you that when I took the top off, it wasn't even like a pickle jar. A pickle jar, I'm not gonna lie. A pickle jar does, like any kind of jar it do like require a little bit of strength. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I mean? So I get how women, have a hard time with that. But this, when I tell you that I just did this with minimal effort and it came right off, that's how helpless y'all are without men. You are not able to open up cans and jars with your hands. I'm just saying, men are the prize, bro. If a mice comes into your house, all right, and let's say the mice is going to stand there and let you catch it, you would run from the mice or from the mouse. Any kind of rodent. I once fought a bat for my baby mother. She somehow got a bat in her room, and I had to fight the bat, and I had to kill this poor bat. We wake up and everything. She's like, Hassan, is that a bat? It was a bat in the goddamn corner. And you would think that I would have thought, wow, this girl got bats in her room. I need to stop dating her. I just stop. This is a terrible omen. This means you got to get away from this person. Who the hell got bats? You know what I'm saying? Like listen, who got bats, man?
Come and get me, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
You think I have somebody I love in the bricks?
Who got bats? Yo, let me turn this down. I don't want my neighbors, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been getting this generic email, and I don't know if it's for me or who's it for, but whatever. But anywho, the work gotta get done. So man, listen, we'll be here forever playing this. But anyway, so he can play two different things. So the other point that my man made was about he started getting into basically the pressure that women basically saying women feel pressure, they compare themselves to women online and this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? That kind of argument, that's how women talk and think, and that's why conversations that involve women where you're trying to have a back and forth, outside of like fun stuff and things, maybe just something that's not high stakes. When it comes to stuff like this right here, one of the reasons why you cannot have a conversation that goes anywhere is because, for one, women cannot handle things being their fault. They emotionally they can't handle it. It's the same as expecting a 12-year-old to admit, hey, I'm sorry about that. My bad, man. I'm sorry that happened about that. It won't happen again. 12-year-old won't even think to do that. And for the most part, when it comes to like emotional maturity, that's where women are at, because most women do not apologize. If they mess up, if they offend you, if they disrespect you and whatnot, you have to. They will not apologize. They won't say, "I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that." None of that shit. Kevin Samuels had a show about when's the last time you said sorry, or do you know how to apologize? And he started getting to the subject of a lot of black men report the women they're with, and even the women they're around, not apologizing for times that they've been done wrong, or they felt disrespected. When you're friends with someone, right? A part of being someone's friend is being considerate of them and everything about them, right? And if you have a relationship with someone, right, and let's say you have a friendship with someone, if your friend said, "Hey, man, that really hurt my feelings, man. I'm saying that really kind of messed me up and everything," I would assume that your first thought would be, "Oh man, I'm sorry about that. I wasn't trying to offend you. I'm sorry about that, beloved. My bad." You know what I mean? But in relationships, in particular, the woman, that won't occur. That won't occur to them, and it's because, again, it's not so much that she thinks you're a dog or some kind of like animal, but it's more like she has a hard time because, for one, it's too much. Because if she thinks about her feelings and your feelings, that would mean that right from wrong has to come into play. That's another reason I think that older women, when women mature, they tune out all that other stuff, because again, if when right from wrong applies, it usually means that she needs to stop her bullshit. She has to stop. As soon as you involve right from wrong, she has to stop, because she knows that, all right, well, when you start to use logic, because right from wrong is logic too. Then you come to the realization of, all right, this kind of effed up what I said. All right, maybe I don't have to go about things that way. Maybe I'm being mean. Maybe I am being difficult. I've had so many realizations. I remember when I was younger, I had a supervisor. She was like a year older than me. And towards the end, we had a beautiful relationship. And even in the middle, we not really had a bad relationship. It's just that I would give her a pushback on a lot of different things. But that was mostly because I was exploring just the act of saying what I actually think, and being honest with people, right? And also taking charge and kind of, I don't so much apply myself, but pretty much just trying to be dominant in situations, you know what I mean? And playing with that dynamic, and that's that's the phase I was going through, because it was about power, right? And then as time went on, I realized that that's not righteous to be difficult on purpose. Also, I had to realize that, because I've always had jobs where I'm mostly working with women. I also had to realize, like, yo, you got to up your game when it comes to accountability and being efficient and being ahead of things, because yeah, they're above you professionally and whatnot, but they're still going to come at it like women. They're still going to come at it and basically saying, "Hey, man, it's your fault." They're still going to point the finger at you, because that's going to be the easiest thing. So I got scapegoated a little, not so much scapegoated, but it would be this thing where it was always like, from even my coworker realized, like, yo, like they will like give me extra work, or make things more difficult for me, or not let people help me, or make things my fault when it wasn't really my fault. It was like a group thing. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So from there, as a leader, it made me a better leader, because it made me more aware of the fact that, yo, I just gotta be on point. And I have to take preventative measures ahead of time before I do certain shit. You understand? So let's get back to this clip, man. We're gonna keep cooking.
Of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, that's fine, but I mean,
what's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
And it's no shade to women that have
No,
them. I'm just saying.
I don't want to keep stopping, but first he says, the same thing with the BBL. He said it's the same thing with the BBLs, and then right after that he says, man, basically, and that's okay. And then old girl says, and no shade to people with BBLs. Angry Man made a really good point about how when black people talk about stuff, especially if it involves women in any regard, there's always this shit that has to happen where everyone has to make a clause and say, but hey, if you're that kind of woman, it's okay. You're never going to hear men say, and listen, no shade to niggas that gangbang. Listen, no shade to niggas that don't take care of their kids. You know, no shade to niggas that scam. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to hear men say no shade to dudes who steal. No shade to dudes who, you know what I mean, who beat their girl. You know what I mean? No shade to dudes who cuss women out and cuss people out on a daily basis. No, you don't hear that shit. Nigga may not say his stance out loud. Maybe he's neutral on it or whatnot. But if that comes up, you're not going to hear men say no shade to men who do things or do things that or even if it's lame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we don't support that kind of shit because men have to be righteous. Ain't no way around it, right? God damn, it's a long ass video. I'm gonna just play it for a little bit longer, then we gotta move on to the next subject. I guess maybe no drink tonight because it's about to be an hour and a half show, man. So I want to get to the because the other one is going to be a doozy. It's a lot of moving parts to it and whatnot, and it's going to take at least a half hour to break down. You understand? Maybe more than that. Because I'm probably gonna be recording like 1 o'clock, man. So anyway, all right, here we go. I'll just play a little more.
Waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me.
It's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She gonna run them pockets.
No, and I'm not, and I want to get your thoughts, Doc, and as well, Amy, as a woman dating or even considering, I think that a lot of times, you know, we do value women, but when you talk about black relationships, I think we all come with some baggage. All right. Now, some of us have some baggage that's not going to fit in the overhead compartment. And some of us have some baggage that you're going to have to pay a whole lot more for.
And this is when black folks stop having a logical conversation because they start doing metaphors. They start rapping. That nigga just started rapping. He just say, no, some people got baggage. It's not going to fit in overhead compartment. And the thing is, like, this is a conversation where you got them right where you want them, right? And you need to be direct. And listen, you're never going to be an effective communicator, especially as a man, when you're afraid. You communicate with fear. Don't avoid smoke, especially with women. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. Men who got kids, who have taken care of kids, it really helps you to understand how you have to go about things with women. I'm not saying that women are kids, but there are a lot of parallels between how women think in terms of empathy, long-term thinking, self-awareness, you know what I mean, maturity, all these different things. You know what I mean? It's a lot of parallels there. And when you deal with your child, you know, it's really hard for you to incubate a really amazing person when you kowtow to them too much, or you find yourself letting them do what they want to do. Like a lot of times, I don't be wanting to say no to my son all the time. I do tell him no a lot because I want him to be able to deal with being able to adapt and understand. Nah, I don't need that thing or this thing to be happy. You know what I mean? I can be happy on my own. And also, that's just not life where you just always getting what you want, especially when it's something that's not really necessary. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like he always want new cars. That boy got probably 100 cars. And I mean like high quality cars. My son has nice cars. You feel me? Like he got the nice model cars, not just Hot Wheels, the nice model cars. All right. So the tablet. Most of my kids have tablets. And if you don't do anything, they may sit on that tablet all day long. You know what I mean? And I have to be disciplined myself and just say, no, don't go on your tablet because I want your mind to work and you need to do something else. You know what I mean? So he's conditioned to like I could bring my son to the Buddhist meeting and he not stressing about his tablet. He'll sit there with the men. I'm like, if I was a kid, that would be torture for me to sit at a religious meeting. You know what I'm saying? And sit there and just sit through it. You know what I mean? And he's able to sit through stuff like that. And he don't be mad, just like none of that shit. You know what I mean? Listen, matter of fact, he be like,
I'm the fucking clock. I've been doing this shit a long time. I posted this video.
Little ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja. I see you, little crusty ninja.
All right, man. We gotta move on, man. I'm sorry, man. It's too much going on out here.